That's great. That's good.
We've had some weird reports out of this area, haven't we?
I've heard numerous accounts of hikers thinking they've seen a bear up here.
Yeah. There's a chap who lives close by, around Langdale, who knows me, that there's something that fits the description of a werewolf in Langdale End. Yeah. Now that is crazy, and I realise, even saying that, I realise how nuts that sounds. But I'm not going to discount it just because people can't get their head around it when you've got perfectly decent men and women coming forward reporting seeing this thing.
Bloody hell.
Here we go. What do you reckon?
Well, should be able to get over this fence.
I mean, when you think about it, Chris, there's a lot of scope for something to be hiding in here, isn't there?
And we go back
Come here, Bob.
The big cats. You know, I've heard farmers say you could be stood 6 foot away from one and you'd never know.
Is it really possible that something could have gone undetected for all of this time? It would appear so due to the vast amounts of reports that span literally centuries into present day of something that resides in this area fitting the description of a bear or a huge werewolf. Perhaps we should call it a bear wolf. It would appear that the stories from folklore have never really gone away. And as we walk these dense woodlands and forests, I wonder what lingers in the shadows watching our every move. Perhaps even waiting for the right combination of time, place and people. Who can say? But just because people say these things cannot exist means absolutely nothing to those who have seen and experienced the horror up close and personal. So I ask the question, does a werewolf roam the lonely forests and woodlands of East and North Yorkshire?
So today we've come to Harewood Dale. First time I've been out with Chris now for, how long, 6 months?
We've got 6 months in it, yeah. We've not really done a great deal. Well, I haven't done a great deal recently. I've been that
too busy
with life, yeah.
So look at this. For people that don't know, and if you have watched Wolflands, it was Chris who were in suit. Am I right?
Yeah.
Bit warm, weren't it?
Just a bit, yeah.
So where are we going to head to now?
We'll head down into this ravine if you're all right with
yeah,
that.
that's great. Let's go.
To the other side.
See, Bob's got his mates with him today. Good lad. Good lad. And you can sort of get an idea of terrain. And if we're going to talk about strange things that are seen and experienced, I mean, imagine in here. You'd never catch out in here. Look at that sunlight, looks brilliant, doesn't it? That is absolutely pristine. Come here, Bob. Just keep an eye on him, Chris, because he's following your dog. Come on. That's it. He's happy. Oh, that's great, doesn't it? How many locals do you think have sat on sightings or strange experiences around these spots and just never say a word?
I think there's probably a lot more than what you would expect, I think, really. I think a lot of people will hold on to stories, not because they want to, probably just because it doesn't really sort of, you know...
They've knocked to gain from talking about it, have they? And probably if you're that private, when you're living, I don't mean in here, but on outskirts of a place like this, you don't really want intrusion of people talking to you about these things. That's a few deer tracks there. Oh, it's dog that, isn't it?
Probably will be a few deer mixed in with them.
You know what? At Dalby, there's a sharp bend and then you come round and there's Dalby sign. And there's an elderly person there that's lived there all their life, and they claim to have seen what we've talked about, the descriptions of it.
I know what you mean, yeah.
In Dalby, if anybody had seen that, the locals to area would talk about it but keep it to themselves. I don't think it's changed, you know. I think
If it's the same story, I'd which I think it probably is, I'd heard that when this thing was seen, the locals would sort of rally around together or telephone each other and said, get your livestock in, the werewolves out.
absolutely spot on. That's the story, and I'm not going to say where because it could direct people straight to it. It were a few years ago, and we're not far from, is it Falcon Inn?
The Falcon Inn, yeah.
And there were a guy driving down road early one morning. I think I've told you this story, haven't I?
Yeah.
And as he's driving down and he's on a motorbike, a car's flashing him. There's a big bend as he comes round. I know you know terrain better than me. Wondered what it was flashing him for. And when he got round the corner, he said there were two huge grey wolves sat at the side of the road. Now, I've spoken to this man. He came through to Bempton to speak to me. He says, and for all intents and purposes, Bob, yeah, they were wolves. Nothing different apart from they look like a big grey wolf.
Yeah.
And it just gets a bit freaky when he drove past them, and he said they smiled at him. So you're telling a story that you believe is plausible, then you get a bit of a twist in it. What's this been then, do you think? Just an old road?
Dry stone wall that's probably been knocked down or something, but yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
That was it.
There's Bobby getting under Chris's feet. I knew he was. There's just... And, hey, that, you twisted your ankle?
Yeah, ankle nearly went.
That's... There we go, we've got a nice avenue of trees here, look. Look at him. Come on. Come on. Good lad. Come on. Go on. See if you can break Chris's ankle again. Everything kind of lined up, you know, when we were doing Wolflands with witnesses and everything, didn't it? And so lucky to get them to come to these locations with us. What did you think to Rotherham lads?
I just thought they were just genuine guys that had just seen something out of this world, really.
You know, when we were sat in there listening to them talking about it in night, did it make you feel a bit nervous, or were you quite comfortable?
The first time we was in there with them, I'll be perfectly honest, I just and hearing what they'd seen, and we were there where they'd seen it, I just felt it as though it was quite a dangerous place to be in. I felt.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but it was so dark.
Very dark.
Yeah.
Pitch, when you talk about pitch black, you literally couldn't see in front of your hand, could you really?
No, not at all. And we talk about them fungus and glowing fungus that were in there. Quite a rarity, I think.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Here we go. This is bilberry in it.
Yeah, the bilberries there.
Yeah, come on, Bob. There he goes. Mountain here. Where's your other dog, Chris? So, although we're not talking about anything strange as we walk through here, I think it's good for people to be able to see where these things are being seen, because then you get an idea. I mean, you could be in a forest in America. Come on, Bob. Look at him. He knows he's got to come. There we go. Good lad. Go on. Everything's a bit low to the ground for him, innit? Is there a stream running in bottom of here, Chris?
I think so, yeah. I can hear water.
Well, your dog will find it if there is. Nice funguses. Bob's not quite brave enough, is he? Yours love it, don't they? Yeah. Can he get out, that one?
Probably not. I'll have to drag him down, stick on the net. No, he'll get out all right.
Which way are we heading?
we'll just try and get straight up there.
Right, okay. Oh, it's gone in again. We can't resist it, can it? Then it.
I can't get out. Drinking it, Bob.
I know. Come on, Bobby. Yeah, that's stagnant, that, isn't it? They're like them crazy loons.
Can we get through there? Because that's where it's
closed. Okay.
Come on, Bobby. Come on.
Heading up here.
Yeah, straight through. Oh, there's Fire Road up there. So we just through here somehow.
I'll follow you. Yeah, yeah. Come on, Bob. Come on. So where are we now then, Chris?
So we're just at the top end of Harewood Dale, North Harewood Dale, and we've got, you can see here, here's one burial mound, and we've got a string of three all in a row.
Do we know what they call this burial mound?
It just says the three house.
The three house.
Yeah, just there.
Okay.
So yeah.
And what's it? Hollow Rig?
Hallow Rig.
Hallow Rig.
Yeah. So I mean, we're not far from the actual Scarborough to Whitby Road, which is just north of us, a few hundred metres. So we're right at the sort of top edge of it.
So once again, we've got Neolithic earthwork. So we've got something going back thousands of years. And let's not forget, thousands of years ago, this area, this land probably was populated. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had this burial mound. Yeah. But to spend all that time and effort creating these, it tells you something about the significance of land, doesn't it?
Oh, most definitely.
We'll just have a little walk to it. Has it been hollowed out in middle?
Yeah, I think I've been up all three of these.
Have you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't remember the chap's name, but there was one archaeologist who did a lot in the 50s, I think, didn't they? With a lot around here.
That's right. Yeah, and in 1800s, East and North Yorkshire burial mounds, a lot of them were excavated by Canon Greenwell. So where are we heading next?
Home.
Home. So we're just coming to an eye point now, and we're looking onto what, Chris? The moors?
North York moors, and you can see
Filingdales, is it?
Filingdales in the distance.
I'll see whether I can get up here and have a look. And I might be able to zoom in, but there's Filingdales there, isn't there? Can you imagine? This would be an incredible place to set up camp and just look at the sky, wouldn't it?
We've got quite a lot to go at here. I know we've got trees in the way, but you know, we can see quite for miles here. Really.
Yeah, I think we're in prime adder country here, you know, Chris. As we know, they're venomous, but the poison's not strong enough to kill a human, but it might kill a dog. Yeah, small dog, a small, powerful dog like that one. Right, shall we get down it then? Where do you want to go? Okay. Can you hear cars? Can you hear vehicles?
Scarborough Whitby Road.
Right, okay, we're paralleling that now, are we? Is that a tick? Bastard.